Hello, everybody. I have two short videos for you to watch today, and this is the first of the two. Um, we spoke in class on Tuesday about how heteronormativity imposes itself upon Maurice, and how in both religious and educational contexts, and even also in the familial context, Maurice is indoctrinated into heteronormativity. But I would also argue that it's in these very institutions where Maurice finds liberation. It's at school in particular and at Cambridge where Maurice meets Durham and Clive and Risley and is exposed to new ideas and new ways of thinking about male-male sexuality. So, for instance, if we go to page 43, which I have pulled up, sorry, page 37, which I pulled up here. This is when Maurice and Clive are talking to each other, and Clive is kind of feeling Maurice out and trying to see if he might be able to connect with him on a romantic level. And one way that he tries to do this is through music, and we can think about how important music is. I mean, one of the things that we've been talking about in this class is, and at the beginning of every class, we have our DJ moment where we listen to queer classics, right? Well, another LGBTQ plus classic would be Tchaikovsky, who was a Russian composer who was gay. And at the top of page 37, Maurice says to Clive, "What is it you want?" And Clive says, "The march out of the Pathétique," which is the Pathétique is the passive homosexual. And it's coded language here, right? Queer people have in deeply heteronormative societies have had to find ways to communicate in code. And so through Tchaikovsky, Clive is saying to Maurice, right? I'm looking for a passive or a bottom, right? And Maurice responds, "That means nothing to me. So you like this style of music?" "I do. A good waltz is more my style." "Mine too," said Durham, meeting his eye. So this is all very coded, right? And so again, it's in the institution of Cambridge where heteronormativity is both instilled and contested. So it is both the dominant culture, and also it can be subverted. And there are other ways of thinking and being to which Maurice is exposed. Also on page 43, Clive is continuing in his seduction of Maurice. And it's here where Clive reveals that he no longer goes to receive Holy Communion, right? On this page here on 43. Clive says to Maurice, "Why? On account of Christmas, I didn't want to communicate. You're supposed to receive it 3 times a year." "Yes, I know, Holy Communion. And at Christmas it came round." This is Clive talking about his mother. "I said I wouldn't. Mother wheedled me in a way quite unlike her, asked me to do it this once to please her, then got cross, and I would damage her reputation as well as my own." And then down at the bottom of the page, Maurice, not well understanding, said, "So did you go? Where?" "To the church." Durham sprang up. His face was disgusted. Then he bit his lip and began to smile. "No, I didn't go to church hall. I thought that was plain." So what does Maurice get in lieu of Christianity? One possibility is Plato and the Symposium, right, which he learns about from Durham. So if we go down to page 58 and 59, I think I have it over here. bottom of 58. This took place soon enough. With half a dozen others, he was starting for the theater after Hall when Durham called him. I knew you read the symposium in the VAC, he said in a low voice. Maurice felt uneasy. Then you understand, without me saying more. How do you mean? Durham could not wait. People were all around them, but with eyes that had gone intensely blue, he whispered, I love you. This is Clive, right? Maurice was scandalized, horrified. He was shocked to the bottom of his suburban soul and exclaimed, Oh, rot. The words, the manner were out of him before he could recall them. Durham, you're an Englishman, I'm another. Don't talk nonsense. I'm not offended because I know you don't mean it. But it's the only subject absolutely beyond the limit, as you know. It's the worst crime in the calendar, and you must never mention it again. Durham, a rotten notion, really. So the symposium is, in the Platonic tradition, basically it was a drunken party where Socrates pursues Plato, and we talked in class on Tuesday about the older man and the younger man, and the beloved, right? Clive is really pursuing Maurice here through that Greek model of love, and he's trying to offer this Platonic model in lieu of the Christian heteronormative one, to which Maurice has subscribed. Now, I'll talk a little bit about how Clive and Maurice's relationship develops. But again, the Platonic model is one in which one isn't whole until one finds one's other half, and it's attention to the divine, right, and looking for the one that completes you. The other thing about the Platonic model or the Greek model of love is that it's a temporary one. And so in the next video, we're going to talk about, or I'll talk about how Clive begins to change as Maurice and Clive become older and as they graduate from Cambridge.